Yes, it's Raphael Dawkins with the Combat Radio. We haven't dropped a video in a while, so let's get into this one. Okay, so Brian Bomac McIntyre has been given a 20-month suspended prison sentence and is, as of now, a free man. Okay, so as we know, Bomac was arrested. He was trying to leave the UK and it was found that there was a side piece in his luggage. So that was in the plane, not accessible by him. So McIntyre has been given a 2-year suspended sentence. If McIntyre is arrested again in the UK for carrying a gun during the next 2 years, he could face prison time. And that's interesting to me because what that suggests is that Bomac has not been banned from the UK, and that was a big concern because obviously being a trainer, work takes you all over the world, not just working with Terence Crawford, but as in his last fight when he was working with Christopher Eubank Jr. So he needs to have his passport so he can go pretty much any damn where in the world. But it's interesting that he's not banned. It doesn't appear to be banned from the UK, and that was a big concern. The other big concern was that, according to our research over here at the rdcr, research suggested that the minimum sentence that Bomac could receive would have been 5 years. But that evidently has turned out not to be the case. He was arrested in September in Manchester after a gun was discovered in his suitcase while he was leaving the country. So I'm talking about he brought it over because he felt that he needed to protect himself. Well, that seems very silly indeed. Very, very silly. I think what actually happened was that it was in his luggage and he forgot about it. That's the most logical thing. So, Bomac being set free is obviously good news for Crawford, who will need him for a rematch with Errol Spence Jr. if he gets a mega fight that he's been talking about against Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford was one of a number of people to give in-person evidence at the hearing today. That's right, so Terence Bud Crawford flew over. Sentence is suspended for a period of 2 years. I'm now going to the pub. Okay, very good. Any other salient points? Talking about he should bring a bodyguard if he needs to travel with a gun. Well, once again, I think that's all nonsense. I think it was a simple but potentially costly mistake. But that's the news. I've already seen one picture of Bomac where he's looking like Tony Banks, the cat who trained under Emmanuel Stewart, and he took over the training of Klitschko after the passing of Emmanuel Stewart. Kind of looks a little bit like him. What is it? Jonathan Banks. Sorry, did I say Tony? I meant Jonathan Banks. Looks a little bit like him. Obviously, the midriff is still big, but he definitely lost some face. Definitely lost some face fat. No question about it. Looks a shade or two paler. Seems like the sun ain't been shining in Manchester in the month that Bomac has been held, incarcerated. But he's a free man now. He'll be on the first plane out. Terence Crawford will be with him, or I would imagine they're going to spend one night in Manchester, one last night in Manchester or two. I don't know if there's any paperwork he's got to sign. Might be another couple of days in Manchester. So if you spot Bomac in Manchester, tell him that, just give him a shout out for the rdcr and wish him well. Okay, I'm glad he's released. Some people have said if he was just an average guy, would they have been so kind to him? Well, no, they probably wouldn't have been. But they know this guy ain't no hoodlum running up and down, shotting up the streets, shotting up the place. This is a serious man, serious work to do, serious fighters to train, and serious money to make, and a serious legacy to leave. So I don't think he's an ordinary cat. But what say you? You may disagree, or you may agree, or you may have a different point of view altogether. Have your say. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. And for sure, tune in to the live shows. Have your say. It's the Raphael Dawkins, the Combat Radio, it's the bomac, McIntyre, given a 20-month suspended sentence and is a free man. Now, out.